He's a love child.
Bruce Wayne and Talia al Ghul.
And Talia al Ghul is the daughter of Ra's al Ghul.
Yes.
The demon head, yep.
Yeah.
Yes. So he was, Damian was trained actually as an assassin for most of his youth, and then came in right around the time Bruce Wayne
vanished,
yeah.
Well, yeah,
Died
and then he
/
became, so Tim Drake moved on to be Red Robin, Dick Grayson, from Nightwing to actual Batman. And then from there, he took Damian Wayne under his tutelage because it's Bruce Wayne's son. It's his last actual blood legacy, you know, even though all the Robins have been his kid at one point, but like through adoption, you know.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, we can now say that we've lived through, what is it, the death of now, was it like 2 or 3 Robins?
2 Robins.
Two Robins, yeah.
Yeah, Jason Todd.
Actually, technically 3. The female Robin, which was the original spoilers. Did she die as Robin?
No,
did she
Stephanie
die as
Brown never died.
No, she died.
No, Stephanie Brown. Oh, she did, but not as Robin.
But that's what I was asking. She died as spoiler, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, but she was Robin at one point.
She was Robin for a short
but
time.
she wasn't highly liked as Robin, I guess, and they kind of moved her back to spoiler.
Oh wow, okay. So that's what's going on in the DC world.
Yes.
There's really not too much like big news, like anyone dying in the Marvel world. Just I'm currently reading a comic book called Thor: God of Thunder, and I'm also reading Astonishing Avengers, and both are, in my opinion, like the best titles that Marvel's putting out right now. Astonishing Avengers is, with the X-Men and Avengers, grouping up together. They're fighting the Red Skull, who's kind of put his focus on mutants now. And it's perfect because you get to really see how much of a bastard the Red Skull is. Like, this guy's a prick. And it makes total sense because, he's a Nazi. And the X-Men have always been about, like prejudice and, like, equal rights and, being an outcast. And so he's, like, the perfect villain for them. And then, the fact that he's already been a Captain America villain, it works out. But has Professor X's brain now. The late Professor X, he had basically...
Like in a bottle, or...?
No, like, he did something to where he basically took the psychic part of Xavier's brain and had it, like, grafted to his own.
That's awesome.
And so now he has the psychic abilities. And he's been doing things like going on television and mind controlling people that are close to mutants. Like, they show this, like, sequence where it shows, like, a dad and his daughter, who's a mutant, hanging out, like, in their front yard. It shows, like, a couple, like, where the husband's a mutant. And then Red Skull, like, does his, like, mind control thing, this, like, subliminal thing over the television, and the dad ends up killing the daughter, and then the wife ends up killing the husband, like, just really horrible things. And then the people wake up out of this trance realizing that they've, killed their loved one. And so it really kind of, like, helps you get behind the Avengers, like, oh crap, like, these guys need to stop it. And then Thor gets mind controlled by not Red Skull, but one of his men. And so the Avengers have to fight a now crazy Thor, and they're, like, getting their asses just handed to them, to where they realize, okay, we can't beat him, we just need to do something to where we take him out of the fight and, like, shoot him off the planet.
I can see Iron Man. I don't know, I'm not a praying man, but if you're up there, save us, Superman.
Yeah, and also too, speaking of comics, I want to do this new thing where we talk about support your local comic book store. And if you're going to support a comic book store, I say that if you want, swing by Heroes and Villains Comics in Pleasanton. It's 264 Main Street, Pleasanton. And while you're there, why don't you pick up a copy of my comic book, The Amazing Fist. I did the pencils for that, and worked on that with 2 other gentlemen, Adam Messinger and Frank Stone. And yeah, shameless plug.
Love it.
Yeah. Okay. So
he did that plug naked too.
As everyone knows, we're now part of Stallion Radio. And what else? I don't know where I'm going with this, but let's talk about Prometheus.
Nice transition.
Yes, I loved it.
That was obviously well thought out.
Yeah. Segue. But yeah, so I saw the movie in theaters with some friends, and we ended up talking about the movie afterwards in Denny's. I thought the movie's really good. Joseph was telling me about how, the director got a little bit of his influence from this book called
Chariots of the Gods.
Yeah, Chariots of the Gods. And it's really cool. You get to, I think the character who steals the show in Prometheus is hands down David. He's the most sympathetic character. He's the most relatable character, and he's the only non-human out of the ship. I mean, not including the aliens and whatnot. But I'm really interested in seeing where Ridley Scott goes with a second Prometheus, and someone was saying that it's supposed to tie...
I'm the one who told you that I've seen... the second one's going to tie the aliens together with Prometheus. It's going to bridge the gap between Prometheus and the events of the first Alien movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'll be really cool. That'll be interesting considering that, spoilers, David is just ahead, so... But,
so are they bringing back the same characters, or
I think so. I think that I think the actor and the actress at the end of the movie, those two people are definitely coming back. But as far as anyone else, I haven't heard anything. I mean, it wouldn't really make sense for anyone else because
they're all dead.
Yeah, spoilers. Yeah. I mean, honestly, too, if you haven't seen Prometheus by now and you're listening about this, you really should not be so surprised by spoilers. So it's your own fault.
That's kind of a dick thing to say.
No, I mean, the movie's been out for a year.
It's true.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's been out for a while.
Yeah.
Unless you've been under a rock, I mean...
Yeah, and it's also, too, if you haven't seen it by now, you obviously have no intentions of seeing it anytime soon, so any spoilers won't even bother you.
No, actually, even before I saw Prometheus, I actually did not know it was a prequel to Aliens.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, well, because they didn't really say much about it at
Well,
first.
I knew they were trying to keep it under wraps,
Yeah.
and so unless you were, trying to find out more about it and, looking it up, you...
Actually, it was that day that I found out, right before I went to go see the movie in theaters. I think I talked to you the day before, Joseph.
Probably.
And you're the one that told me it was it was a prequel to Aliens. You're full of it,
Oh, that would have been so cool if you saw it and while you're seeing the movie, figure out that it's a prequel.
Yeah, well, you kind of figure it out when there's something in the woman's belly, and then you see those little face huggers,
I didn't want to give any spoilers to you.
The space vaginas.
I didn't want to give you any spoilers to you, but you asked me if I knew what it was about.
Yeah, because I didn't hear much about it.
No idea.
I just saw a quick clip of it. And I
like how he called me to consult me about a movie he's about to see. So just waiting to go see it.
It's a sci-fi movie. You're like the sci-fi expert.
I never say Joseph's the sci-fi expert, guy.
But I'm just you could have waited those 5 minutes till the movie started. To,
I'll just say I just kind of want to know what it was about. But yeah, I mean, you kind of figure it out halfway through,
right. You kind of figure it out because I told you before.
If you didn't know. But the movie have you seen it, JP?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, I thought the movie was pretty good.
Too.
One thing I was when I was doing some research about it, I thought it was kind of cool that I think it was Geiger that actually had the original plan for the first facehugger for the original Aliens.
Oh yeah,
it was supposed to be that octopus looking one, which you actually see in the Prometheus movie, which was the first facehugger.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Which I actually thought that was a really cool way to kind of throw that in there,
right, tie it in with the original
source
material.
And the only reason why Ridley Scott didn't want to do it was because it was the original facehugger he thought was too big, and he didn't want it looking like an octopus. He wanted to, they
wanted the spider vagina.
Yeah, they wanted the spider vagina. They thought it was more, I guess, erotic because you got these long tentacles just kind of wrapping around your face, and then you got the tail wrapping around the neck and stuff like that, and then.
Right.
We know how the rest goes. You get get plowed in the mouth and then get impregnated.
I'm very convinced that Aliens is all about sex.
That's horrible.
Well, it is.
Okay, so you've got it's about what is it, male insecurity, with sex, and then at the same time
it's about rape.
Yeah, but so Like, for instance, you've got, these big, beefy, Marines doing big, beefy Marine things, and they come in contact with these eggs, which are the universal, symbol for, reproduction. And what happens? Spider vaginas come shooting out of them and attach themselves to their faces and force, cylindrical, phalluses down their throats and impregnate them. Then, they die. And the host is left with the love child, and the love child ends up forcing its way out of the chest, and you've got even the alien looks like a dick.
Yeah, what does it look like exactly?
Oh, you want me to I'm doing my best to steer away from saying that. You're trying to throw me under the bus again. It's the baby dick comes out, and it's all about sex. It's an undertone of
what part kind of cracks me up was actually what Joseph was talking about when it came to after the facehugger in the Aliens movie, the first one, where who was it that got face McRaped by the facehugger, and then they're over there eating lunch with him an hour later.
I don't remember his name.
Yeah, but you're talking about how they don't even bother to check him. He just got this thing on his head, then it freaking dies off and comes off.
Oh yeah, that's right. We were talking about if was it the facehuggers had any kind of acid or acidic kind of capabilities, I think.
Yeah, well, we're talking about that, but we're talking about how they were just okay with the whole entire idea of eating lunch
with him.
Yeah,
yes.
Eating lunch with someone who just had this alien organism on his face.
They don't even wait 24 hours or isolate the guy. Yeah, they just sit down and
I guarantee you those spoons, cups, and plates were thrown away.
Yeah, seriously. I would be the guy who if everyone's telling me oh hey, guess Willie's feeling fine again. I'd be Willie with the spider vagina on his face?
No.
Yeah, he's feeling fine. We're gonna eat with him. I'm gonna eat in my room. Yeah, if that's cool. Okay, weirdo. And then hear about oh my god, the thing came out of his chest. Yeah, that's why I ate in my room.
Yeah, that's just bad omens if something's on your face
it's
and you're okay.
Sense, I mean, honestly, when man comes in contact with any kind of extraterrestrial, you need to have common sense. You need to just have
and especially for it being in the future.
Period. Yeah, say if Gilbert were to get bit by a zombie, I'm not going to want to share a dinner table with him.
Right, soon. I'm not going to be all buddy with him. Hey buddy, how's it going? With my arm around you.
Why did I get fingered out on this one? Why am I the first one to go here? I'd throw JP on her before I go.
I don't know. I
messed up.
Because I'm the slowest.
I think because you're the slowest.
Especially be even slower when I put a bullet in your leg.
Just pull
an Otis,
a Shane, and an Otis there. I can see that. You guys definitely, Gilbert and Joseph are, trying to get medical supplies, and Joseph.
I would not go with Joseph. That's the thing.
Well, now you wouldn't. And then Joseph just looks at you and goes, "I'm not sorry."
Dude, the dude was straight shoot me if there's no zombies around.
Yeah, he would lure zombies, and be like, hey,
and then he'd laugh about it, but yeah, that's pretty funny, huh? That's for calling me ugly all these years.
Yeah, why is that, dude? That's kind of messed up.
Yeah.
Why do you call me ugly all the time?
Because you're so beautiful, it sickens me.
Anyways, moving on. So aliens.
So I guess we'll jump into our fight here. So me and Joseph are going to be debating on behalf of Dutch's platoon, and Gilbert and JP are going to be debating on the aliens. So for Dutch's platoon, we'll do a roll call. I don't remember everyone's name exactly, but Joseph, you'll help me out here.
Okay.
So we've got Dutch, the leader. He's Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's grabbing people's hands and yelling, "You son of a bitch!" And we've got Dylan,
Apollo Creed.
We've got two governors on our side, two former governors, and an Apollo Creed, and a Rambo impersonator. I don't think there's any way these guys are going to win this fight.
Dutch, Dylan, Billy, Blaine,
Jesse the Bobby Ventura, Billy, the Rambo impersonator.
And
Mac, the who was actually in a film with Arnold previously. What was it? Commando. And he's the stealth guy. He's the super like sneaking up on you. You know,
didn't sneak up on the Predator.
You know, shaving his face. You know, with that razor blade always, and the